Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to City of Newcastle. We can give it its name. It's no longer a secret. We're back. I hope you really enjoyed the last episode, the kind of part 0, where we took a look at Alex. We took a look at the team that we're taking charge of. We had a quick look at the players. However, because I knew there was going to be some movement, I didn't go too much into detail. But yeah, let's get going. So, first of all, I'm going to just take a quick look at friendlies. Now, as you can see, we've done some quite difficult friendlies. But before I take a look at that, I'm just going to show you the other teams in the league. Now, so Pickering Town, our first game of the season. I think this is a problem with the database. The friendlies have been arranged for the middle of the season. Not the middle of the season. The middle of these games. So I don't know if I can look at a calendar. I don't know if that will no, it doesn't look like it will let me do that, but you can see the 8th, and then they've got a week off, so they're playing a Saturday game, which is fine. I think I might have kept I kept a friendly midweek so that we had a game to fill that time with, unless obviously another game comes in, then we can cancel that. But everyone else hasn't had pre-season. They're just going straight into it, and for some reason have their friendlies in the middle of the fixtures. I'm not quite sure why, but I just thought that's something I should make you aware of. But looking back to our pre-season, we obviously played... I gave us some quite difficult games. I gave us some bigger teams, and I mean, we didn't get a single win, but we did get a draw against Juventus under-23s, which I'm quite happy with, to be honest. I think that's a really good result because I know that Juventus's academy is quite good. So I'm quite happy with that. But looking at the other games, I mean, Dundee United, a team that's much bigger than us, only 2-0. I mean, I'm quite happy with that. South Shields, they're a team that's, I think they're one division above us. So again, you'd probably still expect them to beat us. Only 1-0 against a team that's higher than us. We'll ignore the fact that they had a man sent off. It probably could have been more if they didn't. But, that's not too bad. Then against York, I think they're in Vanarama. Yeah, Vanarama North team. Again, only 2-0. Ajax's academy, only 2-0. Hearts, only 2-0. I think we've got something to build on here. And I think because I always try and go for bigger teams in pre-season, just so that you've come up against harder opposition. And then when you come to these teams that are in your division, they're not as hard, and I believe that the momentum of playing against harder teams could make the teams that are in your league a bit more easy, potentially. Let's hope that's how it works. So, taking a look at pre-season, it's not changed. We're still predicted to finish rock bottom. I've made some signings, so it's not like I've not tried to improve the squad. I really have, but yeah, we're still predicted to finish rock bottom. Hopefully we can do a little bit better than rock bottom. I'm hoping for like a mid-table, definitely avoiding relegation. We can bring in free transfers whenever we want. So, if there's an area of the squad that I see that I feel like we need to improve on, I can do that at any point in the season. So I don't think being predicted to finish bottom is too much of a concern, because I feel like over the season we can bring in players that can improve that. And talking about bringing in players, we have brought in a fair few, and we're going to go through them one by one. They're all free transfers. I don't think a single one is on any money per week. Every single one of them is on a pay-as-you-play kind of basis. So yeah, let's have a look at them. First up, we have 38-year-old Englishman Mark Boyd. I think he's very good, and I've just noticed I haven't changed the skin, so 1 second. Okay then, so here we go. Now he looks a little bit better. I said last episode that I probably wasn't going to change the skin colours. I changed my mind because it made it a bit easier having a look at better players. So the thing with Mark Boyd is he's not very mobile. He's very much going to be the kind of player who just sits, passes, and doesn't really do much else. His 16 passing really stands out. That's an attribute that I'm really happy with, and one of the ones that kind of stood out to me. His 10 tackling for this level as well isn't too bad. So, yeah, well, we'll see where we play him. in a minute when we look at the team. He is in as a star player, so he is going to be playing a lot of games. But yeah, let's have a look at the next player. So next up is 26-year-old left back Anthony Callahan. He's kind of well-rounded. If you look at, you can see the yellows. You know, the only thing that's not too great is his heading. But to be honest, I don't think I'll play him as a no-nonsense fullback. I'll probably play him as a fullback on support. So if you look, every single one's yellow. So for this level, I think he's a really good left back, and I think we can be happy with this signing. And next up, 34-year-old, extremely versatile Lewis Dodds. So he's here to kind of play wherever we want him to play. He can play in the middle, at left back, on the left side of the midfield. You know, we can kind of play him wherever we want to. He's possibly not going to be a starter, even though he's been told he's going to be a star player. But I mean, he could do the job. It's the amount of whites rather than yellows that's concerning me a little bit. But for the most part, I don't think he's too bad. And now we've got a youngster, 19-year-old Joshua Pollard, also playing in the midfield. You're sensing a bit of a theme here. Yeah, we needed midfielders. That's one place we were lacking in, and I went in on midfield. So, you know, his 12 passing for this level, really good. You know, his mentals, where it counts, isn't too great. His off the ball composure and anticipation is a little bit concerning. But I think for this level, I think we should just about get him through it. Now, this player was a little bit of a, well, maybe he'll get better, because it was a free transfer. Obviously, on no money. I kind of thought, well, what's the worst that can happen? I'm not going to play him. He's not going to get any money unless I put him on the bench as an unused substitute, so I need to make sure I don't do that. Otherwise, I'm costing our finances. His one dribbling really concerns me. It's his 10 tackling that kind of drew me towards him, but he can get better. There's not really much to say about Mohammed, but to be honest, other than it's a great name. Next up is 18-year-old Lewis Bradford. Now, don't be deceived by the star rating. He is going to be a starting centre-back for us. I mean, we're currently looking at his attributes for a right back. There we go. Now we're on centre-back. So he's probably not going to play as a no-nonsense centre-back either. It will probably just be a regular central defender. You know, he's kind of 13 tackling for this level. I'm really happy with. The 15 aggression, he's going to get himself stuck in. 10 strength isn't amazing. His physicals are kind of that attribute where you don't have good for this level, really. It's just you're either good or you're not. But I mean, for the most part, his attributes, other than his physicals, are good for this level, and I'm quite happy with this signing. And 2.5 star, I completely disagree with. I think he's, as it says there on his contract, he's going to be a regular starter, and I think he could be quite good for us. Now, some of you might recognise this man. I'll be honest, I didn't. But when I was looking at free agents who I could bring in, Japhet Mata appeared. I looked through his history. He only came through the Manchester United Academy. Now, if they saw something in him, then he must be good. Surely. That's how it works, right? But no, so let's get back to him. Japhet Mata is coming in as a striker. Ignore the fact that it's suggesting him as a left midfielder. He is coming in as a striker. 8 finishing is okay for this level. His physicals are pretty good, to be fair. Not amazing, but, you know, we can work with what we've got. I think something that I need to have a look into is trying to get some pacey players, because I don't really have it. The 11s, 12s and 13s are kind of the only sort of pace that I've got in the team at the moment, whereas I think we could really use some 16s, 17s. Right, so for the first game of the season, this is how we're going to line up. So we're playing a control possession system. This is the way that I feel like we can probably get the best out of the players with the ability we've got. Anything too complicated, I think, is probably going to be a bit difficult for them. We might try and higher the tempo a little bit so that we're not, you know, because taking our time on the ball might lead to us losing the ball, but we're going to try it as it is now. But other than the players that I've already showed you that we've brought in, I'm going to quickly have a look through at the players that are starting in this game. So first up, we have our English 26-year-old goalkeeper, Xavier Greatorex, which I think is a Greatorex name. I'm really impressed that I've actually managed to say that, so well done me. When I finally got my assistant manager signed up, and he told me that this player was a 4.5 star, I was delighted. Obviously, you can't always go by the ratings that your assistant gives you, but you know, you can kind of judge it based on that. And I think this guy is great. He's had a really good preseason. I believe in his first preseason game, he saved a penalty. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come. Next up at right back, we have Tom Dunn, the 5-star player, can play anywhere across the front line. He's brilliant. He is brilliant. He is going to be key for us. Nothing more needs to be said than that. And then quickly I mentioned Lewis Bradford is going to start in this game. And alongside Bradford, we're going to have George Corbett. I think he might have been a player that we looked at before, possibly. He's kind of a star and a half, it says. I think he's probably a bit better than that. He's probably one of the better centre-backs that we've got in the team, other than Bradford and probably Dunn. But we've chosen to play him at right back because we don't have any other decent right backs. So, yeah, that's something I need to look at. But yeah, alongside Bradford in the middle is George Corbett. And then new signing, Anthony Callahan, is starting at left back. Another new signing in the team, Mark Boyd, playing as a ball-winning midfielder. We've already spoken about him. He's really good. Hopefully he doesn't require to do too much moving. And once again, another new signing, Joshua Pollard, offering the fresh legs in the midfield as just a central midfielder on support. Hopefully he can make a name for himself and really push forward in this team. And now one of our star players that I don't believe you saw before, Albert Kamara. 4.5 stars. You just look at his stats. You see the amount of yellows and greens you can see. For this level, I know I keep saying it, but this guy, he's really good. And on the left, Aaron Farrell. He's kind of, he's okay. He's not amazing. Crossing's good for this level. Acceleration and pace is kind of okay. Could probably do it better, but I think for the most part, we'll be all right. And on the right side, Andrew Ryan. Same sort of situation, really. He's okay. He'll do the job for now. Probably an area we need to improve on. And then another and the final new signing of the side, and just the side in general, Jafat Mata is going to be playing as a pressing forward on support to lead the line. Okay, so here we go. We can see our lineup and Pickering Town's lineup. I'll be honest, don't recognise a single name. Why would I? Let's go in and see the boys. Apparently we're underdogs. We'll pump the fist and say that we're underdogs, but that suits us down to the ground. I can tell them we've got faith. I'm now really concerned considering that we're expected to lose this game. And the players are now lining up. This is an exciting moment, isn't it? Newcastle, City of Newcastle even, playing their first game in, I was going to say professional football, but no, in the footballing pyramid, I should say. So early on, I'm noticing we are dominating possession, which is exactly what we want. But not only that, we're getting chances as well. 4 shots, only 2 on target, but Pickering have only managed the single shot. So hopefully this is something that we can work on and improve on and potentially get a winner. I mean, it's not looking like there's going to be a goal anytime soon. I haven't seen a single highlight. So first game of the season. First 45 minutes, and we're done. Now, I'm going to be really quite complimentary of them. I'm going to tell them that I'm absolutely delighted because we were expected to lose this game. Not only are we dominating it, we're still drawing. So, in the second half, we've got our first highlight. We've got the massive floodlight in the way, so I actually can't see half of it. Morrison gets a chance. Apparently, he's offside. And, I mean, hopefully that's not the only highlight we see in this game. So it looks like Pickering are starting to play with more caution, it's just appeared to say. That it looks like they've got another chance. We've won the ball back, though. Is this a sign of things to come? They've whipped the ball forward, and by they, I mean we have whipped the ball forward, and we've managed to do nothing with it. So Pickering have got the ball back. They're playing the ball through to Morrison, and Greatorex with a great save. I mean, it's gonna be a thing, isn't it? It's just going to be a thing. They've now got a corner. DK is put the ball in. It's cleared away by Mark Boyd, I believe, and it remains 0-0. I'll tell you what, it may be a boring game, but if we can keep this at 0-0, I'll be happy. Andrew has a goal kick out. passes it straight to Kamara. Kamara's playing it through to Jafet Mata. Ryan plays it through. Jafet Mata. Oh, so close. Who's going to score the first goal? It seems like if it's going to come to anyone, it's going to come to us. And we're coming into the closing stages of the game. It doesn't look like we're going to see a single goal. We're not. First game of the City of Newcastle series. The first game in our careers. And it's 0-0. But I tell you what, you could say whatever you want. This is a great result. We were expected to be heavily beaten. And we were complete underdogs. And I tell you what, I mean, it was an XG of less than zero, not less than zero, of 0.82 to us and 0.35 to them. So we've won the XG battle, but based on XG, no one deserved to get a goal. So I think 0-0's a fair result. I mean, if anyone was going to win it, it was going to be us. 10 shots, 7 on target. Yeah. 65% possession. I think we definitely could have come away with something there. But I'm going to keep telling myself that that's a great result. And I'm going to echo that to the players. Everyone thought we'd be beaten today. Well done for proving them wrong. That's a great game. Yeah, I think we can be really happy with that. Greater X and Mark Boyd equaling each other with rating 7.4. We didn't see much of Mark Boyd, but that just suggests to me that he was supporting the back line really well. And Greater X, I mean, we saw his save. There's nothing more that could be said about that. Then they both had really good games. And then having a look at the reaction of the game, the table puts us in 10th, so we're slap bang in the middle. I think we can be quite happy with that. I mean, there was one other 0-0, and that was Marine against Runcorn Linnets. Other than that, everyone else scored goals. Alex got a 3-1 win in his first game in charge, so, I mean, fantastic. Isn't that delightful? And looking at the fans' reaction, felt like Boyd was pulling all the strings with his passing today. Looked supreme. I love to hear that. It'll take more than that from Greater X to convince me. Okay, Daniel, whatever you say. He had a great game, but thanks for your input, I guess. And that is going to bring this episode to an end. I really hope you have enjoyed. I can only apologise that it was only a 0-0. I definitely feel like we could have done better. The stats showed that we probably could have got something more out of the game. But I think for a starting game when we're predicted to finish rock bottom, I think that's a really good result. Anything other than relegation, I think, is a positive this season. So I think we can be really happy with that. I really hope you have enjoyed. Do leave a like and do subscribe if you have enjoyed. My Twitter and my Twitch down below, as well as Alex's. He's included in the season, so I guess I should probably give him a bit of recognition. And next time, I tell you what, we'll have a look at next time. And I'll tell you what, next time, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but we are going to play against City of Liverpool. So it will be City of Liverpool and probably Pontefract, I think, is probably the two games we'll do in the next episode. So we'll get through these games. Hopefully we'll get some wins, some decent results, maybe some new signings. And if we do, I'll let you know them in the next episode. But I hope you have enjoyed. And until next time, I'll see you later.